So how did you apply for college?
I applied mostly online, well actually all online. I did use the Common App for the schools that I could, and then the rest I had to go individually on their website and apply however they wanted me to.
I applied online. I used the Common App for all of my schools, and then for one of my colleges I had to do something a little extra, but other than that it was just Common App.
I just used the Common App.
I applied with pen and paper and sent everything through the mail.
I applied to college on the Common App.
I used the Common App to apply to college.
I used the Common App to apply.
I applied individually online.
How many schools did you apply to?
I applied to 10 schools.
I applied to 5 schools.
I applied to 6 schools.
I applied to 3 colleges.
6.
I applied to 12 colleges.
I applied to 19.
Places I only ended up applying here.
So how did you learn about your school?
I did a lot of research online, the different databases for colleges, and then I looked on each college's website. And I also did look at the books, the books that they give out for all the colleges, but most of my research was done online, which made it so much easier and quicker because I don't really like to read books that much.
I actually used a lot of books to learn about our schools, but I did go on College Board and I used College Prowler, and I got a lot of my, the information that a student would want to know off of the web.
I saw St. Joseph Career Fair and they started sending me emails, and my guidance counselor told me about St. Joseph.
I learned of all of the colleges I applied to by going to the guidance counselor's office, and that person kept a whole list of college catalogs on the shelf that we could go through, and that's how we did it.
I found St. Joe's on College Board.
I learned about colleges through collegeboard.com.
I used College Board and Naviance.
I did all of my research online.
Would you have applied to as many schools if you had to write it out on paper?
Heck no. I probably would have applied to 2. I applied to 10 because I was nervous about getting in, but I would have just taken the chance if I had to write it all out.
I would have applied to as many schools if I had to write it out. I mean, maybe even just 4, but definitely not as many if I had to write out all my applications, not my essays.
I probably would have still written out my 6 because 6 isn't that many.
That you use the Common App, how did that make it much easier for you rather than applying individually to each school?
Common App just made it easier because I just had to fill out 1 application instead of 5. So if I hadn't used Common App, I probably would have had to apply online to each school individually. But this way I could write 1 essay and answer a few questions and just send that out to all my schools instead of a bunch.
The Common App definitely made it easier because I just did it all in one place. I didn't have to write it all out.
When you started applying to colleges, did you change your Twitter name, Facebook name, because the colleges these days are looking more into the social networks?
I didn't change my Facebook name, but I definitely monitored what was on my Facebook a little bit more. I made sure I didn't post anything inappropriate, and if there was any questionable pictures, I would delete them or try and untag myself. But my Twitter name is not my real name, and other than that, I definitely upped my privacy settings, but yeah.
I cleaned out my Facebook and changed my profile picture to make sure it was fabulous.
I didn't really change anything on my Facebook.
Pen and paper and sent everything through the mail. The pen and paper.
How many schools would you have applied to if you had the Common App or online applications like we do now?
If I could have done it with a common application, I probably would have applied to closer to 10 schools.